Did you know you have an abundance of food right in your backyard, even if you don't grow a garden? Today I'm going to show you all the weeds, the things you consider weeds, that are highly nutritious foods, more nutritious than anything you can buy in the grocery store, and it's all free for the taking. I'm Cynthia, and I am a Divine Feminine Embodiment Coach and a nature gal. So today I am going to show you the edible weeds that I use and a little tour of my garden. And I'm not going to share all the nutritional profiles of the plants because you can easily Google them and that would take forever today. So here we go. We're going to start with milkweed. This is something that you may have seen along roadsides, and you may have heard that the monarch caterpillar relies solely on this plant, this common milkweed and their swamp milkweed that they lay their eggs on, and it's the only food source they have. And they fly from Canada to Mexico, and because of the development that's happening and people spraying, the monarchs are having trouble getting to where they need to be and having enough food source along the way. So it's really good to plant this in your yard, but plant it somewhere where you don't mind it spreading, because it does spread. And the flowers have such a beautiful perfume scent. And I actually just tried for the first time these flower buds, which you can eat. You can eat every part of the milkweed plant, although people don't really eat the leaves. But at every stage, it's edible. When it first sprouts up, you use it like asparagus. And I have to say, I haven't tasted every part of the plant yet, but the flower buds were delicious. Kind of like a green bean taste. And I highly recommend growing this for the monarchs and eating it. The Native Americans use this plant as a food source, and they use the fiber for rope. I use Samuel Thayer's foraging books. I highly recommend his books. He's very thorough and he has a good sense of humor. So after these flowers turn into seeds, you can eat the seed pods as well. And vegans sometimes use the silk in the seed pod as a type of cheese substitute. I am going to try every part of the plant this year. I'll let you know how it tastes. Now we're going to move into the garden. Okay, we're in my very lush garden. And I have let the edible weeds grow in my garden. I don't recommend you necessarily do that, but I have a lot of deer that come through and eat things, and groundhogs, and when the grass gets cut, these would all be cut down. So I have let some grow, and you can see there is a milkweed growing in here. I'm going to have to dig that out. So right here is something called wild spinach, or lamb's quarters. It has a very mild flavor. You can use it in stir fries or use it raw. It's super nutritious. All of the things I'm going to show you are super nutritious. This is purslane right here. That's very mild flavor as well and highly nutritious. Then we also have, yes, I do have dandelion growing in my garden, but I'm going to show you the violet leaves, regular violets that I let bloom all through my yard. My yard looks purple in the spring because I let the violets spread. The leaves are edible, the flowers are edible. I've made violet jelly. When you put the purple flowers in the water to infuse the water, it turns a beautiful color blue. And then when you add the lemon to make the jelly, it turns a bright fuchsia. So here are some of the really beautiful big dandelions. Dandelion was brought here by immigrants as a food source and medicine. It is not really a weed, people. And I One of my pet peeves, or one of my biggest problems with living in a neighborhood, is when people spray their yards to get rid of this plant. And they spray their yards with toxic pesticides. This is nutritious, edible, every single part of it. I don't eat the seeds, obviously, but the leaves are great in stir fries, and when they're younger, you can put them raw in your salad or in smoothies. I use these in smoothies too, but it can be a little bitter. Part of the garden has grown up exponentially. I don't know what's going on this year. It's the best my garden's ever done. This, all of this right here is amaranth. You know the grain amaranth that you may cook with? Well, this is wild amaranth, and it's edible. The leaves are edible, and it will get grain on it too, but it's a little cumbersome to process all that, so I just use the leaves. And again, you can put them in smoothies, stir fries, soups, whatever. Just make sure, obviously, when you're identifying something, that you know exactly what it is, and use a couple different books, and there are some online apps for that too, but you have to just double check and make sure you have the right thing. Right here is wood sorrel, and if you like sour things, this is really good. It kind of looks like clover, right? That's called wood sorrel. It's very good. I like to put it on my salad. Finally, plantain. This is broadleaf plantain. And again, when the leaves are younger, when they're more tender, you can put them in your salads. And then this is where the seeds are forming, and when the seeds are ripe, you can use them also. And I have a friend who makes salves with this, because plantain is actually very healing to your skin. And if you ever get a bite of any kind, especially a bee sting, all you have to do is chew some of this up and put it on your skin, put it on the bite, and it takes some of the pain away. Happy solstice, everyone, if I haven't already said that. I was up at a sunrise service this morning at a megalithic stone park. It was really awesome. But here's my lemon thyme. I'm just showing you some of my herbs I'll be harvesting today. I just cut them and hang them on a string across the ceiling, across the wall in my living room, and just wait for them to dry, and then I use it for tea. And here is the lavender I'll be harvesting, and I'm starting to make a little fairy garden here. I love those little tiny purple flowers. And you see all the driftwood. I do collect driftwood from the stream that we have near us. So, oh, I found one more edible next door to this that I forgot to show you. This is one of my favorite flowers. It's about to bloom. The deer nibbled it down, so I had to spray it with deer repellent so I could let it bloom. This is chicory, and right now in northeast Pennsylvania it's blooming all along the roadsides. It's a beautiful periwinkle blue flower, and the roots are sometimes used as a coffee substitute. The flowers are edible, and in fact most flowers are edible. So that's something fun to look up and throw some flowers on your salad if you have some flowers in your yard. And now what's growing all through my yard is white clover, which is also medicinal and edible. The flowers are of course edible, and the leaves. And you might find a four-leaf clover when you're picking some. So that's a quick tour of several wild edibles that you may be able to find when you go out your back door or when you're in a park. Obviously just collect where you know they're not spraying anything, but chances are if you see a lot of weeds quote unquote, they are not spraying. So I hope that this encourages you to let the weeds grow and go out and try them. And there's lots of recipes online. There's lots of wonderful people to follow who tell you more about how to use the wild edibles. Dina Falcone, I think is her name. I like to follow. I'll put the link below for her. She's amazing. I love her. Okay, wonderful sisters. I have to go finish packing to head to Avalon for a month. I'm leaving in less than a week. I have a lot more to do. I hope that you'll follow me on my journey there. And I wish you all a blessed solstice.